All right, welcome back to another episode of Bully Ball. Today we're live for this one as we do for every single game. Go live about an hour or so before the game just to talk about what to expect, what we're gonna see out of the Niners and the other team that we're playing. Um, as usual, me, Alex, my co-host Joseph. How you doing over there? No, you've been struggling with your Sunday ticket.
Hey man, nothing's working today. Sunday ticket broken. Um, I got my 49er, my white 49er shirt got a huge stain on it when I was doing the dishes. Just everything going wrong today, but last week everything was going right. So, hopefully that's a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, if I'm getting a little bit sick too, so if I sound nasally, that's why. Um, but yeah, let's jump into this game.
Tony Montana, Tony Montana, Tony Montana, check up on my ear. Tony Montana, Tony Montana, Tony Montana, I'm about to cut the.
So today we have the Levi's home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. It's coming up here in about 55 minutes or so. Supposedly it's really windy out at Levi's. So the Niners will once again be playing against the weather, I guess you could say. But same as the Seahawks, they will also be playing against the weather because it was the same thing with the Bears. You know, the Bears were also playing in the rain. Seahawks are also going to be playing in the wind. So it's not a real valid excuse in my book. But should be a good game. I'm curious to see how Trey Lance bounces back and how the team really bounces back in general. You know, you got knocked down week one, got humbled. Now I'm curious to see a resurgence, see a bounce back game, and hopefully it's a good one against the Seahawks because you know the Seahawks are always going to come to play. No matter who's starting for that team, the Seahawks are always going to come to play, and they're going to play their best ball against the Niners. So should be a good game. What are some of the things you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up my screen right here. So looks like it was raining, like it was coming down a little bit earlier, but it looks like we have some clear skies heading over Levi's right now. Um, I saw it was less than half an inch of rain, so shouldn't be too bad at all for the 49ers in this game. But yeah, so big news is George Kittle is out, not playing in this game. Other people, Brock Purdy, Nick Zakel, and Kamoko Toure, which was kind of a surprise to me. But yeah, kind of what we expected. George Kittle was limited one day last week. They thought he might be able to play, but they want to hold him out, make sure he's 100% good to go next week. So, we kind of said that could possibly be a tipping point in this game. The George Kittle matchups, run blocking, pass catching, it's a big, big factor. And Trey Lance has only played with them once in his 3 starts so far in the NFL. And that was obviously the Houston Texans game that they won.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, we talked about it with the Seahawks safety Jamal Adams being out. You really could have taken advantage of that with George Kittle. So it's unfortunate that he's out. Hopefully one of the other tight ends can step up because Croft, he could have had a touchdown in the last game. So hopefully maybe he can get a touchdown in this game or something, or at least put up some type of productivity. But yeah, so that's really unfortunate. But I think everybody was expecting that kind of because that's what it's been looking at for the most part. Of course, Kittle is probably saying that he's going to play, but I think it's smart to keep him out till next week. What do you think about it?
Yeah, Kittle deals with a lot of these types of injuries. Keep him out till he's 100% healthy. You don't want it lingering all season, and then he's not playing his best, not making an impact like he should anyways. So keep him out. Should be a winnable game. Obviously, we'll see what happens, but should be a more winnable game than the Broncos game, even though the Seahawks beat the Broncos. So I agree with it. Um, some keys to look for today. 49ers kind of got to get that offense working. It doesn't matter if it's running the ball or passing the ball. They got to see what's working and keep attacking with it. Offense stalled out way too often last week, leaving the defense on the field. And then Geno Smith, make him uncomfortable. Not a top tier guy in the league at quarterback by any means. So get some pressure, make him uncomfortable. Don't let that team get off to a hot start, or else you're going to be in trouble.
Yep, 100%. You got to keep that run game, got to keep their run game at least to a minimum, because make Geno pass the ball. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were acting like Geno Smith was Peyton Manning. Yeah, he was throwing deep balls. He was throwing beautiful check downs, like beautiful pass, like saying that he's a great quarterback. So we'll see how he plays this week. I think a big thing for the Niners, like we said, and it's probably a big thing for almost every game, is the pass rush. You got to bring it off the edges with Bosa, Ebukam, get that interior pressure with Armstead, Kinlaw, among all the other depth pieces that you have. You got to put that pressure on Geno Smith and make him throw the ball, whether it's aired passes, picks, just get in his face, make him uncomfortable. And I think it'll work to the Niners. It'll give the Niners the advantage for sure.
Yep. And, a big swing in last year's games against the Seattle Seahawks was the special teams. If you remember that one, 49ers dominating the game, Seahawks go to punt, and they score a touchdown on a fake punt. Just terrible. And hopefully this year, the 49ers special teams is better. And they just signed their punter to, I believe it was a 4-year extension, making him a top 10 paid punter in the NFL, which is kind of surprising to a lot of 49er fans.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? Because you're a big Mitch Wishnowsky hater. I don't know about hater, but critic. I'll say critic.
Yeah, I wouldn't say hater. I would say, when you draft a punter in the 4th round, you expect him to be a top 5 punter in the NFL. It just is what it is. And the dude, towards the end of last season, he was doing a little better, but the dude was punting from like our 10-yard line to the 50. And that ain't going to do. You 40-yard punts, that's not going to do in the NFL. But, they saw something they liked, signed him for a long, long time. So hopefully big game from him. Hopefully he doesn't have to play at all. But if he does, hopefully a good game from him.
Yeah, 4 years, $13 million, around there, I believe. Speaking of special teams, we signed the Seahawks special teams coordinator as well this offseason. So maybe it's the revenge game of, I think his last name's what, Schneider maybe?
Yeah, I think it's Rob Schneider or something like that.
Yeah, so maybe revenge game of him, let's go see some good plays out there. What did you think of Kamoko Toure being inactive?
So Jordan Willis was inactive last week. You would like to see all of the 49ers pass rushers available and playing, just because, as we saw last week, they got worn down and had no effect on the game late in the game. So every single one you could have up and dressed, you should. But, they have all the running backs dressed, all the wide receivers dressed this week. So, they're looking to bring more on the offensive side of the ball this week. So you can't blame him, but I wish he was active.
So like Joseph said, we'll get to see the first action for Ty Davis Price, as well as Danny Gray. So they'll both be dressed tonight. And I'm sure that they'll be getting some run as well, both of them. So it's exciting to see. Hopefully they can have some positive impact on the game because the Niners definitely going to need it. We can use that speed from Danny Gray, stretch the field out, and then we can use that hard-nosed running style from Ty Davis Price. So I'm excited to see them. We'll also get to see Jordan Mason, I'm excited to see how those two battle it out because I think Jordan Mason has real potential to be like a starting running back for the Niners, especially with Eli Mitchell going down. I think Jordan Mason could take over the starting spot from Jeff Wilson if he plays good. What are you
Yeah.
wanting to see out of them, out of the three running backs mostly?
The main thing I want to see in this game is I want to see what happened last year in that Lions game. Mostert goes out first play or second play. Who's going to take control of the backfield? Jeff Wilson didn't look like he was it last week. Didn't give Jordan Mason any run. Give them all run today. And whoever takes a hold of it, run with them. Let them take charge. Because, we didn't see it last week. It looked like Debo was the best and only runner on the team besides Trey Lance, obviously. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Shanahan said that he's going to go with the hot hand at running back. So whoever it is, whoever's running the best is going to get the ball. Hopefully, like you said, one of the running backs can do that, not Debo. Like, hopefully it doesn't have to be Debo because if you can have a good running game with Jordan Mason, Jeff Wilson, Ty Davis Price, and then still have Debo at receiver, that's obviously going to work a lot more to your advantage, especially with George Kittle being out, takes away one receiving option. You put Debo at running back, there's two receiving options down, you know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely need one of those running backs to step up for sure.
Yep. And, what I really want to see in this game is I want to see the trenches, lead the way to the win. That's how the 49ers have won the past couple years, is in the trenches. And this year so far, it hasn't looked good. All off season up until now, the D-line was supposed to be the strength. It looked okay in the beginning last week, not great towards the end. And the O-line, they were good at run blocking the first half when Elijah Mitchell was available and Debo was running, disappeared in the second half. They need to get back to that bully ball style of play, like our channel, the name of our channel. The 49ers usually bully people. Hasn't looked that way lately. So I hope they get back to that style of play.
Yeah. I'm just really excited. I want to see a good bounce back game from the team. There's a lot of players that underperformed last week. Trent Williams, who's, in my opinion, I've said it before, the best player in the league. Like we said, he gave up 3 pressures, maybe a sack or 2 as well. So I want to see a bounce back game from Trent. Dre Greenlaw had multiple penalties, gave up a touchdown. I want to see a bounce back game from Dre. And then Trey Lance, obviously. I don't know if you could say a bounce back game, but I want to see improvements on what he struggled with. You know what I mean? I want to see him get a little bit better this game and get a little bit better each game. So yeah, I want to see those. I'm curious to see the rookies as well. I just want to see a good bounce back game. You got knocked down, like I said, you got knocked down week 1, week 2. Let's get back at it. Let's establish the run game, like Joseph said. Let's get that bully ball going, and let's smack these fools in the mouth.
Yep, and let's see the 49ers upgraded secondary this year. Tough matchup as always when you play the Seahawks. You got DK, Lockett, a ton of tight ends to get usage. So let's see Charvarius Ward, Emmanuel Mosley, and Hufanga. See if they can step up. And then obviously you got Tashawn Gibson filling in for Jimmy Ward. So let's see how the defensive backfield room holds up this week. And hopefully we have a much cleaner game from the linebacker room. We've said it all off season. One of the best linebacker rooms in the NFL. They need to play cleaner football. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Yeah. So you brought up a good person that I'm curious to see as well as Talanoa Hufanga. I want to see him just continue to add on to that first game. I want to see if he can follow that up with another great game, because that first game he was looking legit.
Yeah.
He did get caught in a couple binds to give up maybe a touchdown or two last week. But I want to see him follow that up with another great game in the box, getting those TFLs, setting the edge, because he looked really good, and the Niners are going to need that for sure. Oh, shoot. If
Yeah.
anybody's watching the games right now, there's a big fight between the Saints and the Bucks.
Yeah, and
Sidelines coming down with everything.
if anyone has NFL Sunday ticket, I'm sorry, because this is some BS. I'm trying to watch these games and I can't. But
Yeah.
one other big thing that I want to see this week is kind of what I said after the game last week. The 49ers have all this superstar talent on the team, but for some reason, when that big play needs to be made, it's not made by these players. I was watching a game last week. I forget which game after the 49er game, but they needed a star play from a star player. And of course, they come through, make the huge play.
Is it the Chargers? Because I remember you saying Khalil Mack.
Possibly. Yeah, I think it might have been Khalil
Yeah.
Mack. Got a strip fumble or something, right when they needed it.
Mhm.
So I want to see, Nick Bosa make that big play in that big moment. I want to see Fred Warner get that interception in that big moment. That's what they said with Trey Lance starting. He doesn't have to win it for the team. We have a good team. We need to see these superstars make these superstar moments this season.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, because like you said, when you need those big plays, you don't really see that a lot from the Niners, like star players. There's a couple instances like the George Kittle versus the Saints in 2019. You get them every now and again, but you don't get them as frequently as you would like. So that is a little bit unfortunate. So if you guys watched the last podcast that we put out yesterday, I said my bully of the week was going to be Emmanuel Mosley, because he's going to be matched up with DK Metcalf, and that's going to be a pretty physical battle. And I said that Emmanuel Mosley will have like a pass deflection and an interception. Who is your bully of the week candidate for this week?
My bully of the week candidate for this week. This is a hard one, man. This is a hard one. I am going to say it is going to be. Dang, this is hard. I don't know who I want to go with this week. I could go with the easy option of who it probably will be, but I'm going to go with Jordan Mason, running back. I feel like, the 49ers, we said, get back to that ground and pound football. I think they're all going to get a chance. It might be Ty Davis Price, but I'm going Jordan Mason. We've seen this dude running hard all preseason. I'll go with Jordan Mason, breakout player of the game, bully ball player of the game. Let's see.
Who was your easy candidate you were talking about?
Obviously, it would be Talanoa Hufanga. He's the one player on that defense last week that was flying around, blowing people up, And that's another thing. The 49er team never seems to be playing angry, like flying around, trying to make these plays, effort plays. We see the Lions this morning. They're whooping the Commanders?
Yeah.
And they're just flying around like they're playing hard football. And, I don't know. I just didn't see that from the 49ers last week. And I hope to see it this week. Play angry.
Yeah, I feel once the once we got down, the sense of urgency for the Niners team just vanished. The guys just looked like they were defeated already before the game was even over, which was crazy. You don't really see that a lot in the Niners, Um, so yeah, I agree. I want to see like those effort plays, especially if it gets a little rough. That's when you need to bring it out the most. That's when you need to show up the most and really bring that out. So definitely want to see that as well.
Some
Who's go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh. Who is who would you say is going to be the MVP of the game for the Niners? On offense, then we'll go defense as well.
On offense,
let's
the
start with
MVP, this week it has to be quarterback Trey Lance. It has to be because he needs to make those plays. When the game's on the line, you got to make those plays. You're playing I wouldn't say they're a weak defense, but they're a very vulnerable defense. You should be able to expose a lot of things on this defense. They got a rookie starting at corner. They have
two starting
is it
corners,
both
right?
of them?
Two
I know
rookies?
one for sure. It might be two.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
maybe.
they had one get hurt last week. And they have that one rookie that was a 4th-round pick starting.
Tariq
Jamal
Woolen,
Adams
right, from UTSA.
Yeah. You got Jamal Adams out, so they have a backup in at safety. They do have Quandre Diggs, who's a good safety, but that's an exposable defensive backfield core to me. And then, nobody really too notable on the rest of the defense. They're all good, like, team players. You got Uchenna Nwosu, who was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week, but you should be able to expose this defense. And I expect Trey Lance to do that this week.
Yeah, because like you said, you look at their linebackers too. Bobby Wagner's not there anymore. They have Jordan Brooks from Texas Tech, I want to say. Maybe second, third year player. He's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Puna Ford, I mentioned last week. The dude always tears up the 49ers somehow, so watch out for that guy. But, yes, I agree. The 49ers should be able to get the running game going, My MVP candidate is going to be Brandon Ayuk. With George Kittle out, Debo probably seeing a lot of running back play. I'm going to say look for Trey Lance. He's going to be targeting Ayuk a lot. They had that chemistry in training camp that everybody was talking about. So I think we're going to see a big game. It's going to be the start of a breakout season for Brandon Ayuk in week 2 for me, and he'll be the MVP on the offense for the 49ers.
I like it. I can see it happening. The 49ers offense, when you look on paper, they should blow this defense out of the water. But, on paper isn't how the game works. So we'll see what happens. On the defensive side of the ball, go ahead.
Hold on. Before we go to defense, I don't know if you or any other of the faithful watching, have you guys seen Richie James lately? The old Richie James of the 49ers is a beast on the Giants now, supposedly. The dude's catching a lot of passes, looking pretty good. I know. Yeah, he was always he's a viable fantasy option this year, like as a flex. Just crazy.
I saw one catch on red zone when it was working for 5 minutes earlier. They threw him the ball on 3rd and 2, and he didn't catch it. He dropped it, but then he caught it with his legs. Kind of like what he was doing with the 49ers, dropping hella passes.
I know he's a lot of Niner fans liked him. Thought he was a very underrated receiver.
He was good.
But for some reason, Shanahan wouldn't give him any looks or opportunities. I don't know why.
Well,
but a lot of Niner fans liked him.
You remember that Green Bay game? He went off, and he had 130 yards and 2 TDs. It was an irrelevant game at the time, but he went off.
The Packers. I think it was against the Packers. We were getting killed.
And then in the preseason of last year, he dropped 5 passes in one game, and then he was off the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
All right, let's transition over to defense. Who's your defensive MVP of this game?
defensive MVP of this game, I am going to say, let's go with the new guy on the block, Charvarius Ward. You know, I want to see some pass deflections or the ball not even thrown his way while covering Metcalf and Lockett. I don't need an interception. I just need some lockdown coverage. And that would be my
Was that it?
MVP. Yep.
This one's tough because there's a lot of players. Obviously, I picked Emmanuel Mosley as my bully of the week, so I'm not going to pick him as my MVP, but I think he is going to have a good game, but I won't say him as my MVP just so I don't get repetitive with it. I'll say defensive MVP is going to go to Nick Bosa. Easy one, you know, that's low-hanging fruit, but I think he's going to get back on that grind. I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. I'm going to say 2 sacks for Bosa. 2 sacks, you know, working against those rookie tackles in Charles, right?
Yep.
And Abraham Lucas. I was listening to Croc's podcast, and he called him Abraham Lincoln. Thought it was hilarious, but yeah, I think Bosa is going to get in some good work against those guys, and I'm going to say 2 sacks, maybe even a strip sack, honestly. I'll say 1 regular sack and then a strip sack because
I like it.
Like I said, Geno Smith doesn't have good pocket awareness, supposedly. So I think Bosa will be able to bend that edge, get around that tackle, and get a strip sack off him. So 1 regular sack and 1 strip sack for Bosa. That's what I'm calling this week.
It was funny. The Dolphins game had popped on for a second on the red zone, and they got a 4th and 1. The fullback took a snap under center to pick up the first down, and the broadcaster said, "Oh yeah, the fullback has been studying Mike McDonald's offense for a while now." And I was like, "Man, what the hell is going on?"
Yeah. Do you want to drop the link in the comments? See if anybody wants to hop on real quick.
Yeah, if anyone wants to hop on, you know, say some maybe about last week's game, you know, some about this week's game. Hop in. Probably be on about 10 more minutes. I got to get off and try to find a way to watch the game because the dang red zone and ticket ain't working. But you know, a couple things that the 49ers could exploit in this game. Obviously, you have Geno Smith. Looked great last week against the Broncos in the first half. Struggled in the second half when he had some pressure on him. You know, make the dude as uncomfortable as possible. Maybe blitz. You know, you have some very athletic linebackers. Send a blitz or 2. You know, I know we like to rush 4, but sometimes it doesn't get done. It doesn't get there. So maybe send a blitz or 2 in this game. And then obviously you have the 2 rookie tackles you had said. They played pretty good the whole game last week. Obviously, Bradley Chubb got through a couple times for 2 sacks. But, you know, make those guys uncomfortable. Show them some different looks, stunts, things like that. And, you know, just get after them. Anything else on the offense you think the 49ers could try to exploit this game?
Yeah, like you said, you got those rookie corners, and then, you know, I don't think so. I think you covered pretty much everything. Got to get that pressure on Geno, like you said, those rookie tackles as well. Start getting those guys confused, mixed up, and just be physical because you know DK is going to come out and be physical with whoever's covering him. So if you got to get up there, impress this dude, and you got to jam him up a little bit, jam him up because the Niners have the corners. You know, we have those lengthy corners that can get their hands on dudes. Talanoa Hufanga, too, if you see him on a slant, you know, it'd be nice to get a nice little hit. Clean hit, though. No penalties. Let's avoid the penalties.
Yeah.
But, yeah, physicality. I think physicality is going to be a key this game. I mean, I'm sure it's a key every game, but definitely this game because it was kind of lacking against the Bears. So let's see that old bully ball style of play from the Niners that we're accustomed to.
Yep. And if you stop by the stream at any time today, sub to the channel. We put out good content. We put out a lot of content, interviews, weekly shows. We try to bring on a podcaster from a different team every week prior to the game. And, we do these live streams. We want to communicate with other fans, bring other fans on, let them say what they want to say about the team, about the game. So we're trying to grow our audience. So join us on the journey. And let's see, we got a comment here. It's raining pretty good out here right now, off and on. Hopefully it can clear up a little. Hopefully it can clear up a little, but like we said last week, it doesn't matter if it's raining or clear skies out there. The other team is playing in it too. You can't make those inexcusable mistakes, and you have to play hard no matter what the conditions are. So, the 49ers just need to get it done today. There's no excuse you can make. Everyone was making an excuse about the rain last week. No excuses. The other team's playing in it too.
Yep, 100%, 100%. And if we really have those Super Bowl aspirations, you got to win these games. You know what I mean? You just got to find a way to win. Early in the season, you got to find a way to win. We have this great roster that everybody talks about. Let's see our stars make plays, and let's just win this game flat out. No matter how you get it done, if you're running the ball 40 times, if you're passing the ball 40 times, if you're winning the game from defensive turnovers, whatever it may be, just win. You just got to win. That's it. That's all I got to say.
It's like we've said, good teams find a way to win these games. Even if they're playing a worse team, when it's close, they find a way to pull it out. 49ers did it in 2019. They did it last year on the back end of the season. Let's see if the 49ers are a good team this year. Find a way to win. It don't matter how. It don't matter if it's pretty. Just find a way to win the dang ball game. If you're in here, drop a score prediction in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. And with that said, what is your score prediction for the game?
I think we gave one yesterday, didn't we?
We did, but
I think I said 27. I'll update it. I don't know if I'm going to get the same exact one from yesterday, but I'll say 27-17 49ers. I think we're going to put up some points today.
I like it. I think I said 17-14 49ers. The offense has to prove it to me. I still haven't seen them show that they can put up points yet. I think they're going to win a close one. And we know when the 49ers play the Seahawks, it's a dang battle. It's always going to be physical. Don't matter the talent on the field. So a grinded out 17-14 game, defensive battle. They get it done with a field goal at the end.
Dang. At the end, a game winner from Robbie.
We got
all the former
14. Today is Trey's day. 21-13 Niners.
Our loyal subscribers right there that always hop on the video no matter what. We appreciate it. Probably our first 2 subscribers as well. All the former 49er receiver legends are scoring today. Like we mentioned, Richie James scored? No, it was River Craycraft scored for the Dolphins.
Wow.
Yeah, Craycraft. I saw Sherfield, Trent Sherfield also had a catch earlier.
Yeah, he had a nice catch over the middle earlier.
I mean, early in the season, all these former 49er legend receivers, Craycraft, Dante Pettis week 1 against us, Richie James, where all those dudes when we had them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, and then old boy, the corner on the Jets now. I forgot his name just now.
Oh, DJ Reed.
DJ Reed was going off today. I mean, I wish we
Yeah.
kept him. I always liked DJ Reed.
Yeah. I thought we would have brought him back maybe this offseason. He was a free agent. But makes
Yeah.
sense, him and Salah. That makes sense. Yeah, he had a nice pick in week 1, I think it was.
Yeah, he's
Was it? Yeah,
balling.
I'm pretty sure it was week 1. Yeah, there's a lot of upsets going on. The Lions over the Commanders, that was a big one.
Man,
The
the Colts are
Jaguars over the
bad.
Colts is
Yeah,
insane.
it's 24-0, and the Jags are about to score again. And I have Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy team. Looks terrible.
But if you remember last week, week 18, the Colts needed to beat them to make it into the playoffs, you remember? And they lost. And
Yeah,
the Jaguars picked first in the draft, so they were shitty too, and they still beat them. So they just have their number, I guess.
man. And then I have a Carson Wentz on my fantasy team. That dude had like 1 point at the end of the first half, and now he's going off again. This dude's a fourth quarter legend, bringing the team back. It's 21-29 now.
Score?
21-29
Oh, shoot.
now.
Dang. Those, what that Lions team kind of reminds me of? The early years of the Shanahan team. You remember that one year that we lost like 8 games by 3 points or less?
Yeah, they just haven't found a way
They
to
kind of
win yet.
remind
but
me
they're
of that.
gritty.
Yeah.
They're a gritty
Yeah,
team.
they have the talent. Well, they don't have all the talent yet, but they have a decent amount of talent, good core, but they just can't finish the games when it matters. That's what it reminds me of that early Niners teams.
They have Aiden Hutchinson, who's their Nick Bosa. They have DeAndre Swift, offensive weapon. That's a good team. They just need a QB.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah. Jamal, or what's his name? Jameson Williams coming back soon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a good team.
And then
same with
the Giants. The Giants look good. Yeah.
Yeah. They're in a tight one with the Panthers right now, 16-16. I have Saquon on my team. He's been kind of bottled up lately. I think he has like 50-something yards probably right now. But there's still 10 minutes in the fourth. So hopefully you can pick it up a little bit.
Yep. Hey, if you're in here, subscribe, give us a like, leave a comment what you think the score of the game's going to be today. We'd love to have some more audience participation next week when we do our live stream. We're here. Hopefully you guys are able to watch the game. If you have Sunday ticket, I'm sorry. Hopefully it's up now. We're probably going to hop off so I could try to see if it's up and try to get the game on. But if you tuned in, thanks for watching. You got any final words?
Nope. Like we said, just got to find a way to win this week. It's not a must win, but I think it'll go a long way throughout the rest of the season to get that physicality back, that bully ball style back, and let's win this game.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys hopefully midweek. Hopefully we have a midweek recap this week, but we'll see. We'll see you next Saturday for sure.
Peace.
Peace.